also you are going to be playing some ASMR football trivia today, so it is going to be Guess the Footballer. Now, the way this is going to work is I have 5 footballers from the top 5 leagues in Europe, and for each footballer I'm going to give you 3 clues about them, okay? And your job is simple, just guess who I am talking about. Now, we have done this before. I think we've done it a couple times now, but it's been a very long time, so you OGs will remember me doing this video, but I thought, you know what, we'll bring it back, because it has been a long time. So each clue is going to get progressively easier in terms of giving you a better idea of who the player is. So the way this is going to work is will be a point system where you get 3 points if you guess the player correctly after I give the first clue, 2 points after I give the second clue, and you get 1 point if you guess the player correctly after I say the third clue. So, hope you guys do enjoy. I wish you the best of luck, and if you want to see me do this again, of course, then please do let me know in the comments below, and let me know your scores in terms of your points. There is a total maximum of 30 points to gain here. So yeah, they're going to be players from Europe's top 5 leagues, and don't worry, I'm not going to pick like some random guy playing for Frankfurt. All 5 of these players, you will know who they are. So, without further ado, let's begin with player 1. And clue number 1 is as follows. I was my club's player of the season and nominated for the Ballon d'Or in my first season at the club. So, at my current club, I was the club's player of the season and I was nominated for the Ballon d'Or in my first ever season at them. So, just put in a guess based on that, and if you guess correctly you'll get 3 points. Even if you have no idea who the player is, it's good to just take a little bit of an educated guess just in case you get it. But this one, so just think about a player who had an immediate impact when he joined a football club. So at my current club, in my first year, I was nominated for the Ballon d'Or and I was my club's player of the season. So I'll give you a little bit of more time to think about it, but I'll be pretty surprised if any of you got this straight off the bat, but if you do, well done. And I'll give you a countdown for each clue, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, get your guesses in because I will now reveal clue number 2. So clue number 2 is I have scored for my country in a major final. So this should narrow it down now. I have scored for my country in a major final. So this player scored in a major international tournament final. They have scored for their country in a final. So, clue number 1, I was my club's player of the season and nominated for the Ballon d'Or in my first year at my current club, and I have scored for my country in a major final. So that should help you a little bit. I still think it's a little bit started off very well at their clubs and put in a guess in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so submit your guess now, and we'll move on to the final clue, which should most likely give it away, and that is, I am the first footballer in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half of a game. So I am the first footballer in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half of a football game. So, the first footballer in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half of a game. Who is it? 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 So, now you know they play in the Premier League, now you know they're probably an attacker, and now you know all of the clues. So, let's do a recap here. Clue 1, I was my club's player of the season and nominated for the Ballon d'Or in my first year at my current club. I have scored for my country in a major final. And clue number 3, I am the first footballer in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half of a game. So, of course, pause it if you need more time, but submit your guess now. And clue number 3, and I will reveal who it is in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the player is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer. So, of course, Cole Palmer in his first season at Chelsea was their player of the season and earned a nomination for the Ballon d'Or. Cole Palmer, of course, scored for England at the Euros final versus Spain. And Cole Palmer scored 4 goals in the first half of the game versus Brighton. So, well done if you guessed Cole Palmer. So if you got Palmer after I said the first clue, then give yourself 3 points. If you said Cole Palmer after I gave you the second clue, give yourself 2 points. And if you got Cole Palmer after I said the third clue, give yourself 1 point. And if you did not get Cole Palmer, then you unfortunately get no points. So, that was the first one. Now we'll move on to the next one. And the next player, the first clue is, I captained my country at the 2024 Euros. So this is quite broad here, but I captained my country at the 2024 Euros. So I guess it does narrow it down a little bit for you here in terms of course, you know, they're a European player here, and they're probably a bit experienced, right, if they're the captain of their team. I would be shocked if anyone got this straight away, but this one is more sort of a clue to set you up. Once you hear the other clues, you'll probably be able to piece this together. But I captained my country at the 2024 Euros. Just think of any captain who you can remember at the 2024 Euros. Go through the national teams, think about who their captain was, and just put in a guess. And I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so submit your guess and we'll move on to clue number 2. Now this should help you a lot more. Clue number 2, I have won the Yashin Trophy. So I have won the Yashin Trophy. The Yashin Award, the Yashin Trophy, I have won it before. So the player has won the Yashin Trophy and they captained their country at the 2024 Euros. first clue will come in handy because, I mean, I'm not going to completely give it away, but I feel like most of you know here, if you win the Yashin award, that will mean something and that will help you a lot in terms of figuring out something about the player. And then you can think about, okay, who would have won the Yashin award and been captain of their country at the Euros? So, I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to submit a guess. And we'll move on to the final clue, which I think should definitely help you out now if you haven't got it already. Clue number 3. I have won the Euros. So I have won the Euros. So this player has captained their country at the 2024 Euros. They have won the Yashin Awards and they have won the Euros as well. So that should really help you now. Yeah, it should be fairly straightforward if you just think now. Think about it, Who has won the Euros? Think about the nations who have won the Euros in the last couple times who has won the Euros, and then think about the Yashin Award, who has won that in recent years, and then think about who might have been a captain at the last Euros. And I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, submit a guess if you haven't already, but the player is of course Gianluigi Donnarumma. So, of course, Donnarumma was the captain of the Italian national team at the last Euros in 2024. Donnarumma, of course, won the Yashin Award, which is awarded to the best goalkeeper. He has won that. I think he won it in 2022, I want to say, or 2021. But he won it after he won the Euros, when he won it with Italy, the 2020 Euros. Italy won and Donnarumma was actually the player of the tournament, so there you go, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Well done if you said him. Now if you guessed him after I said he captained at the Euros, I mean, congratulations, that's an unbelievable guess, and give yourself 3 points. If it was after the second clue, give yourself 2 points, and if it was after the third clue, give yourself 1 point. Okay, so we'll move on to the third player now. So the third player, clue number 1. I have played with Kylian Mbappe, Dimitri Payet, and David Luiz. So a real blend of players there, but this player I have played with Kylian Mbappe, Dimitri Payet, and David Luiz. And they're of course currently playing in Europe's top 5 leagues, so think about someone who may have crossed paths with those guys. Again, I'll be quite shocked if any of you get this, but I mean, it's a bit of a random mix of players there. We've got Kylian Mbappe, of course, one of the best players in the world. We've got Dimitri Payet, one of the best, I guess, streets won't forget ballers in the Premier League. I mean, whenever I hear his name, I just think about that free kick versus Crystal Palace. And then we have I mean, to be honest, I think quite underrated centre-back in David Luiz. People sort of remember him for being a bit of a nutjob and lunatic, which he was, but actually David Luiz in his prime was a sensational centre-back. So think about those clubs which those guys have played for and submit a guess in 5, 4, So I played every minute of the 23-24 Premier League season. So no, 23-24, so not last season. The year before, 23-24, I played every single minute. I was an ever present for my team. So, this player has played with Kylian Mbappe, Dimitri Payet, and David Luiz, and they played every minute of the 23-24 Premier League season. So at least now you know they were in the Premier League 2 seasons ago. Maybe they still are, maybe they're not, who knows. But maybe you can start to piece it together, of course. Clearly a very important player to their side as well. And they've played with Mbappe, Dimitri Payet and David Luiz. Granted, this one is quite hard, I can't lie. I don't think until clue number 3 you'll start to piece this together, but if you can get it right now, fair play. But I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to submit a guess. And we'll move on to clue 3. So clue number 3, I was one of only 2 Premier League defenders to be nominated for the 2024 Ballon d'Or. So, I was one of only 2 Premier League defenders to be nominated for the 2024 Ballon d'Or. So this player was nominated for the Ballon d'Or last year. They are a Premier League defender as well. They have played with Kylian Mbappe, Dimitri Payet and David Luiz. They played every minute of the 23-24 Premier League season. So, think about some of the best Premier League defenders who would have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or last year. Think about who has played with those people, and I think you guys should be able to get it now. But I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, submit a guess if you haven't, because the player was William Saliba. William Saliba, the Arsenal man. So, Saliba played, of course, with Mbappe in the France national team. He actually played with Dimitri Payet at Marseille when Saliba was on loan there. And he played with David Luiz when David Luiz was at Arsenal. He played every minute of the 23-24 Premier League season, and Saliba was nominated for the 2024 Ballon d'Or. I believe the only other Premier League defender was Ruben Dias. So well done if you got William Saliba, and we move on to player number 4. So, player number 4, I have won every trophy possible for my current club. So clue number 1 for player 4 is I have won every trophy possible for my current club. So clearly this player, very successful at their current club, and their club has won a lot of trophies. They have won every single trophy possible at their current club. Very impressive, very, very impressive. So think about what clubs have been successful in the last few years, then try to think of a player who's been around for that success and just throw out a guess, But I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to submit a guess. And we'll move on to clue number 2. As I said earlier, of course, feel free to pause it if you need a couple more moments to think. But we move on to clue number 2, which is I had the same shirt number as Neymar at Santos. as Neymar at Santos. So, this player played for Santos and they had the same shirt number as Neymar. Of course, Neymar, besides Pele, probably the second best player to ever play at Santos, and this person had their shirt, they had the same shirt number as Neymar. Once Neymar left, they took his shirt number. So, think about who has played for Santos in Brazil. Maybe it's probably a big giveaway, but that maybe tells you something about their nationality too. They've won every trophy possible at their current club as well, so again, think of some successful clubs who may have some former Santos players in their side. And I will give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So please submit a guess and we'll move on to the final clue. So the final clue is, I am the second youngest player ever to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. So, clue number 3, I am the second youngest player ever to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. So, to be fair, I mean that clue, gives you a little bit of guidance, but isn't a dead giveaway like the other ones. This one is a little bit hard, but I feel like if you sort of try to piece all 3 together, don't just focus on one, put them all together, I think you can come to the conclusion. So, I've won every trophy possible for my current club. I had the same shirt number as Neymar at Santos. And I'm the second youngest player ever to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. So, think about it, of course they played for Santos, so they are probably Brazilian. They had Neymar's shirt numbers, they're probably an attacker. They've won every trophy possible for their current club, so they are playing for a very successful team. And the second youngest player ever to score a hat-trick in the Champions League, so they are a good goal scorer, and they clearly broke into their side at a very young age, and clearly moved from Santos into Europe at a young age. So, I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Submit a guess if you haven't done so already, but I can reveal the player was Rodrygo. Rodrygo for Real Madrid. So of course Rodrygo has won every trophy possible at Real Madrid. Since he has joined, he has won the Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Club World Cup, Super Cup. And Rodrygo played at Santos and had the same shirt number as Neymar, which I believe was the number 10, I think. But I don't know. They had the same shirt number. And Rodrygo is the second youngest player ever to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. This was in 1920 when he scored a hat-trick for Galatasaray. I think he was like 18 years old, so that one was quite hard, I can't lie, but well done if you guessed Rodrygo. And we'll move on to the final player of the video, player number 5. So, player number 5, clue number 1. I spent time in the Chelsea and Southampton youth academies, but I've never played professional football in England. So, clue number 1, I spent time in the Chelsea and Southampton youth academies, but I've never actually played professionally in England. So, this player has been in the youth academies of some English clubs, Chelsea and Southampton, but they've never actually played professional football in England before. So, this one's quite hard. Again, it's more one where it's going to set you up maybe later on. Later on, this clue might help has been in the England youth academies but hasn't actually played in England before. It's sort of just knowledge stored for later that they've never played in England before professionally. But just for a guess, top 5 leagues, guess a player, random player. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Submit a guess, and we'll move on to clue number 2. So clue number 2 is I am eligible to play for England, Nigeria, and Germany. So I'm eligible, eligible. I don't know, I've never really known which one is it. Is it eligible, eligible? Well, either way, I can play for the England national team, the Nigerian national team, and the German national team. Now, I'm not going to reveal to you there which one he actually chose, but they are technically allowed to, by FIFA's rules, to play for England or Nigeria or Germany. So they can play for England, Nigeria or Germany, and they also spent time in the England youth academies with Chelsea and Southampton, but they never actually played professional football in England. So that might give you a pretty decent clue. Now, with that second clue, start to piece it together a little bit there. But I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to submit a guess. Feel free to pause it if you need more time, but let's move on to clue number 3. So the final clue is, in 2022, I scored the goal to win my club the Bundesliga. So in 2022, I scored the goal to win my club the Bundesliga. So this player in 2022 won the Bundesliga and he scored the goal to win it. That should definitely help you if you guys can remember what happened there. This should give it away straight away, but this will definitely help you with the other clues too. So, you know, this player was playing in the Bundesliga in 2022, they won the Bundesliga. They can play for the England, Nigeria or German national team. They spend time in the Chelsea and Southampton youth academies, but they've never actually played professional football in England. See if you can put this all together and guess the player. I will give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to submit a guess, because I can reveal the player was Musiala. Musiala. Well done if you guessed Musiala. So Musiala was in the Chelsea and Southampton youth academies as a kid, but he left for Germany, which is why he never played professionally in England, and he has never played, as a recording at least, professionally in England before. But he can represent the English national team as he was born in England to Nigerian and German parents. But he of course represents the German national team. And in 2022, Musiala on the final day of the season scored for Bayern Munich the winning goal. I think that's Werder Bremen, when they had the title race with Borussia Dortmund, and that won Bayern Munich the Bundesliga. So there we go. Those were the 5 players. Add up your points and let me know how you did in the comments below.